Common Sense Radio.
Come a little piece of the Lord's undying light, crying like he swallowed the fiery moon in his mother's arms. Was all the beauty I could take, like a missing words to some prayer. Well, a prayer that I could never make in a world so hot and dirty, so foul and confused. Oh, searching for little God's mercy, I found living proof.
Good morning, you bunch of drunks.
Good morning, everybody. Hey. So, good morning. Good morning, Kitty Bitty.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kitty Bitty. I'm trying to figure out. I keep laughing because I know Katie and I are dying to lay this Rick Astley thing on you, but I got to get to some things, then we'll do it later.
Totally.
DJ Potato. Katie dragged me down this rabbit hole yesterday with DJ Potato, and I just and she knew
I do.
I was going to fall right in it. So
I just know you, and we have such similar senses of humor. Like we have just a good sense of humor.
Yeah, I was. It's pretty funny. But anyway, we'll get to it in a few. All right, so let me get to the Post-Dispatch. A couple of articles that I want to draw your attention to. One of them is this Political Fix article that Joel Currier, these guys are decent people, and Joel wrote a piece about with attorney Kim Gardner, Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner, and basically the story was essentially that there is not going to be anything prosecutable, and there's really going to be nothing going on with this story with Eric Greitens and this supposed blackmail thing and whatever happens. And so it's not going to take place. It's the woman doesn't want to talk about it, and you can't compel her to talk about it. And whatever this tape is, it's been peddled around there. That's not evidence. It's hearsay. So you can't bring a case based on a tape, and the person who is allegedly the victim isn't talking. You can't make a case on it. And you know, the only thing that you could do, and of course he's denying that this is taking place. They're saying he's sidestepping the issue. He's saying, listen, this is over. This didn't happen, and I'm done with this conversation. So unless somehow there's some degree, I think there's a misdemeanor involved in taking a picture of somebody without them knowing it or whatever. I don't know. But even that, there's a statute of limitations. It's over, okay? It's over. So it's interesting how they pointed out that really in the impeachment issue, which, of course, all these folks, all the swamp creatures down there under the direction of this Scott Fawn character with the Missouri Times and a couple of lobbyists who've managed to trick lawmakers into cooperating with their desire to run Greitens out. And apparently, I'm wondering if any of these lawmakers who called for Greitens to resign will be the recipients of these awards that Scott Fawn is bragging about handing out at his celebration of the Missouri Times that'll feature Cajun food, booze, and really nice awards that will be handed out to all of his stool pigeons there at the state capitol. I'm sure that maybe Kathy Conway going to get one of these nice awards? At this point, are you really going to go? Do you know anything about this dude? And by the way, he was on Twitter yesterday saying that there was opposition research waged against him. And I told him on Twitter, I said, stop flattering yourself. This is not opposition research on Scott Fawn. It's called CaseNet. And your name is all over it for DWI, for felony forgery, and for tax cheating. And also for not paying your bills to Capital One. So, you know, my suggestion to Scott would be, instead of throwing a party an expensive party in commemoration of the Missouri Times, which basically can hardly keep up with its own bills anyway, to my knowledge. Why don't you go ahead and use the money to pay off your debts that you owe, for instance, the government, whatever else? Why don't you use that to pay off your debts there? So yeah, don't flatter yourself, dude. This was not opposition research. So you're not. It's not hard to see what your life has been like.
It's not hard to Google someone.
No,
I feel.
I mean, come on. And so anyway, back to the article. So the article says, because these people want Greitens, and they're also saying, well, then maybe we can impeach him. So the Mike Wolf, who is a former Missouri Supreme Court justice, says really the grounds for impeachment are criminal conduct, habitual drunkenness, neglect of duty, corruption, or offenses of moral turpitude. So it kind of sounds like before Greitens is ever impeached, you'd impeach Scott Fawn. Tell you the truth, even though he doesn't hold office. What I'm saying is these guys all calling for the removal of Greitens from office actually are guilty of more things than Greitens is. And yet they're all wandering around wanting him to resign, everything else. He's not going anywhere.